Welcome Costa Rica, amigo. Pura Vida.
Come explore and eat with me on the land of Pura Vida as I take you on an epic road trip through Costa Rica. I have partnered with Visit Costa Rica to take you on 5 full days from volcanic landscapes, lush cloud forests, and the bustling streets and markets of San Jose, all while eating at some of the best restaurants in Costa Rica. So I'm here in Costa Rica, arrived San Jose late last night, past midnight, woke up early, had some breakfast, and then drove around 1.5 hours to Cartago. And now we're here at the Irazu Volcano Park. So Costa Rica is really known for a lot of volcanoes. There's around 120 volcanoes, 7 are active, and this here is the tallest volcano that's accessible to public. I'm here with my guide Maria, who's taking me all around Costa Rica for the next 5 days. I'm so excited to be with her, with a local expert and guide.
Hello everyone, my name is Maria. I have been working as a tour guide for almost 18 years. Today we brought Raymond to this amazing volcano that is showing off the weather conditions that are typical. Really cold, windy, with a lot of mist. This volcano, its name is actually a native word that is called Istaru, like it is established on the sign is the mountain of the tremble and also the thunder, because when active you can hear the rumbling underground. We have as regular fauna, a lot of wrens, for example, some robins, and of course the coyotes that at night create this story that is mystical about the people that have passed and they are still stuck in this area, because it's a connection with the heaven, but also a way to actually shoo away the possible intruders. Welcome to Costa Rica, and please enjoy with us the visit. Pura vida.
Thank you so much. And as you can see with the weather here, it can actually still get very chilly and also rainy, and seems like it's a good time to have the poor man's umbrella. So this here is the poor man's umbrella. This is a smaller version. It actually gets really big, and apparently when it's raining, a lot of people use it as an actual natural umbrella, which is really cool. The texture, it's very rough, actually very interesting. So this is really cool. So you can see this line right here, where here it's like volcanic soil and there's no plants that can seem to grow. And then just at this divide, they call it the green lagoon, because at this part of the soil, the plants can actually thrive and grow. It is so cool to see, and you can actually touch the soil as well, and it's very, very gritty. So what's also cool here is there's a cafeteria, and with the cold weather we had today, nothing beats a hot coffee. Salud! So after the Irazu volcano, we had a scenic drive about 1.5 hours to Cachi. We passed right by Cachi Lake and the Cachi Dam, which is a massive piece of Costa Rican history. It was one of their first hydroelectric projects and actually provides 40% of the drinking water for the area. So I'm here for lunch inside restaurant Casa Jose at Hotel Quelitales, and this place is incredible. It feels less like a hotel and more like we've been invited into Chef Jose's home, which is just surrounded by lush nature. It's a famous spot for birding with over 170 species, including rare ones.
Welcome Costa Rica, amigo.
The hotel's name Quelitales actually comes from quelite, which is the stem of the chayote, a super popular vegetable here. It's a perfect name because Chef Jose, who owns and runs this place for 16 years, is all about fresh local ingredients. But what I love is his philosophy. He travels the world to places like Peru and Thailand, learns their cuisine, and then brings those techniques back to the restaurant to fuse with traditional Costa Rican food. And you can really see that on the table. I started with a classic sour guava juice, or Cas, which is just so Costa Rican. Then I had this beautifully fresh watercress salad straight from the garden, and a comforting chicken broth with a quelite omelette. Yes, using the namesake.
Nuestra tierra. Se lo va a poner a mandarse un cacique a Raymond.
Qué bueno. Salud, Ray.
This is the relative local liquor.
Okay.
All people drink this one. It's from caña.
Is it made with sugarcane?
Yes.
Okay.
And this is very local lemon.
Ah.
Mandarin. Like this one from Costa Rica, Guaro, Cacique. Here.
Salud.
Liquor.
Raymond.
Miramos. Welcome to Costa Rica. Enjoy. Now you are ready to continue. Enjoy the food.
If you come to Cachi, you have to get the trout. It's the regional specialty here. Wow. I'm having the house specialty trout and it's a must. Wrapped in a banana leaf with shrimp and tomatoes, it's so flavorful, flaky, and tender. And here's that fusion I was talking about. This is the delicious tropical shrimp. That combination of curry with the sweet tropical fruit was a whole other level. I also had a rosemary chicken. And for dessert, the flambé banana sweet brandy is a must. Flambéed tableside for an epic show to end the meal. We're finishing it all with coffee grown right here in the Cachi coffee plantations.
Pura Vida. Pura Vida. See you next time here.
Thank you so much.
I am staying at the Hotel Grano de Oro in San Jose. This is actually a converted Victorian mansion, so it is very beautiful inside. You get a feel of tropical charm that's historic yet cozy. This hotel is certified sustainable with Tourism Costa Rica, and it has a fitness center that overlooks the rooftop sun deck. And there's also 2 jacuzzis on the rooftop terrace. And let me give you a room tour. So I am staying at their king room, and there's a sitting area here and a TV. And they also gave me a welcome fruit plate, which is really nice. There's a cabinet here, and there's a coffee machine and tea. And what's also cool is, so the mini bar is actually complimentary. So all this you can actually enjoy. Then here you have the king room. There's air condition as well. There's some chocolates here as well. This here is the washroom. Nice and clean. There's a tub with shower. So I am having dinner here at Silvestre restaurant, and I am so excited. Chef Santiago is one of the culinary heritage ambassadors by the tourism, and he also won One Knife Award at the Best Chef Awards. It's inside this beautiful intimate house from the 1890s, and we're doing the soul tasting menu. This isn't just dinner, it's a culinary journey through Costa Rican identity. The chef explained that the concept comes from rescuing the spirit of old San Jose homes, and every single course is inspired by a part of the national coat of arms. This is easily one of the most unique and memorable fine dining experiences in Costa Rica. So I am doing their 7-course tasting menu, and what's special is they give you this souvenir gift that you get to take home. But this is actually part of the storytelling during the tasting menu, because each course will appear on this souvenir, and I'm very excited to see what they make of this. So I am doing the Silvestre wine, which is actually a very unique wine pairing that I highly recommend. It uses a bunch of their homemade wines. For example, this one here is a passion fruit wine that it's homemade, and it took them a while to find the correct recipe to make the wine, because apparently it's hard to ferment passion fruit because of the level of acidity, and they had to do a lot of tests to perfect it for this wine, and it is so good. And that pairing was full of surprises. They're serving everything from a cava prepared by Costa Rican Esteban Quesada, made in the traditional Champenois method, to a Syrah from the first winery in Costa Rica, which is an amazing feat since Costa Rica haven't produced wines historically because of the weather, and the surprises just kept coming. So this here is their homemade raspberry wine. Wow. So the first course we're headed for the Caribbean Sea, and they gave this thing to put on the souvenir. First item is a tomato and bell pepper dashi croquette. It's topped with cassava, and they said this is a heart of palm mousse, and then this is a bean mousse. And the idea is you make your own art by trying to get the mousse into your croquette to try. Inside as well, there's some sort of like butternut squash green like puree inside, and they paired it with tomato vermouth with their homemade wine. This first course was the perfect introduction to the restaurant's philosophy. It's called Create as Not Copying, inspired by a famous Costa Rican painting, and you literally become the artist. It's so playful. Paloma, my server, even showed me the raw cubaces beans used in that puree. It's this deep connection to the ingredients that's so special. The creativity and playfulness keeps on going. They tell these amazing stories, like with the Ocean's course. The Atlantic side was aki con bahalao, and they replaced traditional cod with the invasive lionfish. And bahalao is a local slang for go away. That is brilliant storytelling and sustainability on a plate. Then they elevated the humble salchichon sausage, a symbol of San Jose culture, serving it with a fluffy cauliflower tamal that looked like a cloud. It's a perfect mix of national pride, humor, and modern technique. The Talamanca course, honoring indigenous culture, was plated to look just like ancient metates or grinding stones, complete with edible glyphs. Then the gossip course. You get this crazy looking ear cookie and you pour a poisonous gossip coffee caramel over it. Underneath, there's a mirror to read a secret message, and it said, La olega es real, the ear is real. And the finale, a tico on the moon, a tribute to the Costa Rican astronaut Franklin Chang. You get this beautiful moon crater plate, a flan with the first footprint, and you have to guess the flavor of the edible moon rock, a unique and memorable way to end the dinner. This whole experience is a reflection of the minds behind it. Executive Chef Santiago has cooked all over the world, but he came back to express his roots with honesty, mastery, and innovation. I also got to meet head chef Marco, and it turns out both he and Chef Santiago were just in Milan for the Best Chef Awards. Can't believe I missed them. Rise and shine, everyone. Today I'm having breakfast at the hotel restaurant. It is so beautiful here. It feels like you're in someone's old historic home, and the charm is there. You can see the wooden accents in the interior. And one thing I also love is the beautiful courtyard. You feel like you're in an oasis with a garden and a fountain. And what's also amazing is they have this bar area that is open to both the courtyard and the inside of the restaurant. So it's pretty cool, and they serve both coffee drinks and cocktails and alcoholic drinks. So the breakfast menu here has a good variety of different international breakfast dishes. There's croque madame, there's omelette, but there's also one popular Costa Rican traditional breakfast called tico, and it has gallo pinto, which is considered the national dish of Costa Rica, and of course I'm trying that one. Gallo pinto is a mix of black beans and rice, and typically seasoned with onions, celery, and bell peppers, and it's normally served as well with fresh tortilla, plantains, and eggs. And the one here also comes with fresh cheeses. What I love as well is you get to choose your juice, and they have fresh mango juice as part of the menu. And as someone coming from the Philippines, I am so excited when I see fresh mango juice. And of course, the coffee here is always Costa Rican coffee. It is very, very good, non-acidic, very smooth, and normally has a hint of chocolate taste, which I really enjoy. Cheers! So it's here, and I'm so excited. Look at this. So one thing I'm glad is they actually serve the cheese inside the fresh tortilla. I thought it was separate. So it's nice because it makes the cheese moist and warm and like melting inside the tortilla. So I'm gonna try the beans and rice first. This reminds me of the typical rice and beans you get in the Caribbean. But one thing they told me is they have this Costa Rican salsa, and they said it's a must when having your gallo pinto. So I'm gonna try it now. It added some wetness to the rice, and the flavor is so good. It's not overly spicy, but you get a very savory, like roasted peppers, and there's some tangy taste to it as well, and it's so good. So I'm gonna try the fresh tortilla here. This is the cheese. The tortilla is legit. Like, it honestly tastes like I'm eating corn. It's that good. And the cheese adds that nice texture. It's not one of those cheeses that are stretchy like a mozzarella cheese. but it's very nice. So they also serve the side of pico de gallo, so I added it to my rice and added more sauce. It is so good. It's very simple, but the freshness, the taste, it's so good. So we are here in San Jose, which is the largest city and the capital of Costa Rica.
Welcome, how are you? Today we're showing you all the headquarters of San Jose. San Jose is not only a beautiful city, it's business, but also it has history. We have behind us the amazing National Theater of Costa Rica that is a symbolic coffee house for all the wealthy families. On the other side we have the first hotel, and the adventure will just begin today. Thank you for coming. So when you visit San Jose, when I was younger, we used to run only business and errands. Nowadays San Jose has live music, culture. For example, if someone tells you in Costa Rica, let's go to Chepe, is the nickname for Jose, and Chepe is our capital city. Today, Senor is going to know through the eyes of Chepicletas, one of our fellow providers, how we see the markets and everything around San Jose. Remember to always bring a little water, sunscreen, and the best attitude, because you are going to have a lot of fun.
Awesome, thank you.
Con mucho gusto.
San Jose, it's a trading. There was a lot of settlements around that were very far away from each other. So going around by Oscar, it will take a long time. So they needed a middle point for all the merchants to trade. That's how San Jose was born in 1737. The original name of San Jose was Villanueva de la Boca del Monte, like the new village of the mountains. But the city was created around the church for San Jose. So people will go, let's go visit San Jose. So that's the origin of this place. I think it kind of really marks the city because it's a place full of commerce, food. It kind of shows where we go around, what we go through every day.
Perfect.
So we're in the Mercado Borbón. This is one of the biggest cooperative markets in Latin America. It's from 1944, and it's very interesting because you're gonna see in a moment that it's a long hallway. Why? Because this was the old Oscar's hotel. This is where all the guys that had Oscars that came from the ports, this is where they stayed. And then in 1944, it became this market. It has the most fresh ingredients in all San Jose. And you're gonna see that everyone from like the little sodas to the best restaurants like to buy here.
So this is very interesting. We run into Chef Humberto here. And Chef, tell us like what the Bourbon market means to you in terms of your role as a chef.
Well, here in Costa Rica, you have like markets of fruits and vegetables all the weekends in different part of San Jose and Costa Rica. But if you need a specific ingredient any time in the weekend, you must come here to the Bourbon market, and also have a lot of variety. You can buy it directly from the people who
The producers.
Yeah, the producers. So it's a very good place to find specific ingredients to work with. Yeah.
Awesome. And he was here just specifically looking for beans at this store right here.
Sure. We were looking like for a specific variety of bean. This, for example, is Chileno, but we were looking for one kind that is black-eyed peas that have a lot of protein content. So it's very good to make misos and fermented food. But today we have bad luck and we don't have black-eyed peas, but we're gonna work with another one that is very good.
Tell us about your restaurant.
Okay. I work in Corazón Contento. It's like a pastry, gelato, and tasting menu place. We work like with a lot of fruits. We love work with fruits because we think it's like one of the best ingredients that we have here in Costa Rica. But we don't use it a lot. Like fruits don't have the reputation of a meat, of shrimp.
Yes.
Fruit is like it's for the breakfast. it's for another kind of moments. But we love to think of fruits like it's the best product. Same like a Wagyu meat. So we work with fruits in gelatos. We have a tasting menu that the main focus of each dish is a fruit.
Oh wow!
So it's like tasting menu.
So it's a dessert tasting menu.
It's not dessert. That's the interesting stuff because it's like regular menu, we have like
okay.
fresh, savory,
Yeah.
all kind of flavor
Okay,
profiles.
yeah.
But every dish, the main ingredient, it's a fruit.
Oh wow, okay. That's very unique. Okay,
yeah.
okay. Okay, I wish I have time to go, but next time when
next
I'm back,
time?
I'll
Yeah,
see you.
for
I'll
sure.
come see you.
Nice.
Thank you so much, chef.
Nice to
Pleasure.
meet you.
Nice to meet you. So we're now here at Acapulco Bar, and it's a local, very traditional cantina in Costa Rica, and I'm also here having some local Costa Rican beer, Bavaria, and we're gonna be enjoying it with some bocas.
Bocas are like these dish to go with beer. Actually, initially, you will buy your beer and they will add a boca for you, like a little dish of something for you to join with it. Right now, when we go drinking, we buy our beer and a boca that it's like a smaller dish. I don't know, with the second or third beer, you will try another stuff. So it's a way to eat different stuff, to have variety in your dish. And cantinas, especially here in San Jose, they have a background of being from Italian and Spanish immigrants. So they have this influence, and also they are a glimpse of how life was in the past decades here. Depending on the cantina, it looks like a 90s cantina or even like a 50s cantina. So it's part of the magic of coming to these places and the menu they have.
Okay, I'm excited. We ordered a couple of dishes and we're excited to try.
And here they are.
Oh, here they are.
No, así estoy bien, muchas gracias.
So we have a couple of the bocas here, and this here is the chifrio. There's chicharrones, there's
Rice, red beans, and
pico de
pico de
gallo, and some chips.
And my dish is sang olla de carne. It's a traditional dish that is a lot of different Costa Rican vegetables, like potato, it has cassava or yuca, it has beef, it's a stock. This is a starchy root called tiquisque or ñampi, I always forget. Some people say it's Costa Rican ramen, I don't know, like
okay.
it has like beef, it has different ingredients that it's a must, and it's a display of our local vegetables. You want to try mine? Try it. Maybe let me cut it. I don't want to make a mess in camera. This is probably the most peculiar one. Try the stock.
Wait, it's very hot.
It's very hot. No, I'm sorry. This is the kind of soup you get when
When you're sick,
When you're
very
sick,
clean,
when you're
yeah.
cold.
Very
Yeah.
clean tasting. Very nice.
Usually what people like the most here is the stock. That's like the secret behind
Yeah.
it. That's
Yes.
why maybe like I've heard people make this comparison with ramen, like for us the stock
Yes,
in
yes.
this dish is so important.
And it's very flavorful.
So enjoy your chifrido.
Thank you. You don't want to try some?
I really like it, but I think with the soup, I'm full.
That's nice. It's basically like, I guess, like Costa Rican nachos, I guess, based off like the chips and all the toppings, and then you get to enjoy it with also with beer.
For me, that's the perfect dish.
That's honestly why I thought of this, because I feel like this would go the most well with beer as like a snack.
Actually, this snack was actually created by the owner of a cantina
Oh.
in the past. So that's why it feels so good with beer.
yes.
It was made for that.
So our last stop is coffee, and if you know Costa Rican culture, they are strong with coffee culture. In fact, they have coffee time where people just hang at someone's house or at a cafe to just enjoy being social together. Sometimes with coffee, sometimes with something else. But here we're doing coffee, and we're here at Cafe Ocotea, and they really specialize in coffee. They even have a coffee bar for coffee tastings, and that's what we're doing now. They are specializing in the different coffee regions in Costa Rica, having different beans from different regions, and we're trying one from Los Santos, and this is my first time trying coffee that's been processed using the honey method, so cheers. So we are on our second coffee, and we've shifted to the Perez Zeledon coffee region, and what's unique on this one is they also use a Costa Rican brewing method called bandola, which I've never seen before, so it's very interesting. If you're serious with coffee, I highly recommend checking this place out because they are very serious with coffee. You can see the love and the passion. I even got to see their booklet of recipes of how much time they dedicate to get the perfect recipe for each bean. And with all good things comes to an end, and that's the wrap for our tour with Alex here. Alex, thank you so much.
It's been
We
a
had such a
pleasure.
great and delicious time. So for dinner, I am here at the Grano de Oro restaurant, and it is one of the best French restaurants here in Costa Rica. Even from what I heard from like locals, and including Chef Jose, who I visited last time, even he said this is one of his favorite restaurants, so I'm very excited to try. This restaurant has such a different feel at night compared to breakfast. It's so intimate. I started myself off with the Tico Sour. They use the Guaro, which is their local moonshine, and I love sours in general because they use egg white, so cheers. The culinary concept here is so interesting. It's French Mediterranean at its core, but with a distinct tropical influence using fresh local ingredients. I started with the carpaccio de corvina. It's quite uncommon to find sea bass served as a carpaccio, but this is why it works so well. They slice it paper thin so it's incredibly tender and just melts in your mouth. It's marinated in lemon and orange, then topped with capers, gooseberries, and candied ginger. When you get everything in one bite, it's just a total flavor explosion. Next, I tried a very traditional Costa Rican dish, the soba pejibaye. Pejibaye is a local palm fruit that's naturally quite starchy and neutral in flavor. They balance that starchiness with some sour cream, making the soup incredibly smooth. Oh, it's good. For the main, I chose the lomito pistachio. As someone who loves pistachio, this was amazing. The Costa Rican beef tenderloin was cooked perfectly, and that roasted nutty crust was delicious. It comes with a rich mushroom reduction and a really unique macadamia nut foam. Even the mashed potatoes were perfectly silky smooth. Yeah. Finally, for dessert, I couldn't leave without trying a classic. You can't go wrong with tres leches, which is the national dessert of Costa Rica. So if you also love wine, this is also one of the best spots, if not the best spot in Costa Rica for wine, because they're the only restaurant who's been consistently on the Wine Spectator Awards from 2013 all the way to 2025. They've always been awarded, so that is such an amazing feat for wine. And they have some really amazing vintage and very rare wines as well, so you can check that out. I tried something special from their wines, a Don Melchor 2021 Cabernet Sauvignon. So we have left San Jose and we're going on a road trip to Monteverde. It's around 3.5-hour drive from San Jose, but what's a great pit stop is here at El Jardín. It's an hour and a half away from San Jose, and it is really beautiful here. There's so much Costa Rican culture, arts and crafts all around you here. Starting from when you enter, there's the coffee area where you get to try some of their wood-fired roasted coffee, and you can buy them as well if you want. Then you get to the souvenir section where there's so many beautiful things, but what I love here the most is this butterfly garden, which is where I'm at right now. You get to see so many varieties of butterflies and they're just flying all around you. And then another part of the place is the cafeteria where there's a buffet spread of different Costa Rican dishes. There's also street food snack dishes you can try like empanada, and of course there's gonna be Costa Rican desserts like tres leches. Very nice pit stop, definitely a great way to take a break on your way to Monteverde. So we have made it to Monteverde. It is world famous here, known for incredible diversity and the cloud forest.
Welcome to Monteverde. If you go to the Spanish meaning, it will be the Green Hill. And keep in mind that it's a tropical cloud forest located between the Irazu Volcano and the Pacific side. So it's a unique ecosystem where temperature plus humidity crosses path. We hope that you enjoy the visit, and remember, tourism plus dairy industry are the heart of the town.
Awesome. I am here at the Ocotea Hotel. It is a small family-run boutique hotel that is certified sustainable by Tourism Costa Rica. And it is nestled in the cloud forest, so you are surrounded by nature. So I'm in room 8, and let me give you a room tour. I actually love that there's this balcony right here with a nice sitting area. Very thoughtful. Monteverde is very rainy at times, so it's nice that they actually provide umbrellas already. So this is the room. As soon as you enter, it's already the bed. There's a sitting area here, and there's the mini fridge. Another great thing here is the mini fridge is free, complimentary. There's a safe here, a desk area. Very interestingly, it's an open concept type of bathroom. There's a bathtub here. There's a shower over there. The sink is right here. Hey, and then there's a separate privacy for your toilet. I'm having lunch at Nectandra restaurant inside the Ocotea Hotel, an all-day dining concept with Chef Isaac Madrigal at the helm. The space itself is beautiful. It has a modern feel, and all this wall art makes you feel like you are dining right in the middle of a forest. They have a selection of fresh fruit juices, and I started with a fresh pineapple juice. When I was looking at the menu, one thing immediately jumped out. They have a Wagyu burger. I honestly didn't know Costa Rica has its own Wagyu breeds, so I had to order it. It's a 200-gram grilled patty on a homemade brioche bun with provolone, and it was fantastic. It was so juicy and tender. I also tried their fresh fettuccine for my next lunch. This was classic Italian done so well. The pasta was perfectly al dente, and the pomodoro sauce was bursting with flavor from the sweetest tomatoes. And the flan tasted so good with the smoked cheese, a great way to contrast flavors and bring umami to the sweetness of caramel. So with the weather in the Monteverde region can be quite unpredictable. I was supposed to do the zipline tour, but because of the weather, as you can see, it's very foggy, low visibility. I am now doing an El Trapiche tour. This last minute change turned out to be so much fun. What's really special about the El Trapiche tour is that it's set on a 100% family-owned farm. It felt like an authentic and tasty immersion in Costa Rican culture. It's pretty rare to find a single tour where you get to learn about coffee, cacao, and sugarcane, along with other local agricultural produce.
You can say arracache. Arracache is easier.
This entire tour is incredibly hands-on. At the coffee plantation, we got to smell all the different kinds of coffee beans and roasts. They even had us try pounding the dried coffee beans, which is hard work. We also got to pick some fresh coffee beans right off the plant and try them raw.
And we need to pick all the entire cajuela. How much kilos do you think is this cajuela? A professional of coffee picking. Ready to work tomorrow.
Next, we headed to the cocoa greenhouse. I got to taste a raw cacao bean straight from the pod.
Just the white part. Just sucking it. Okay? Don't bite it.
Then we learned the whole process that goes into creating artisan chocolate.
We need to create first the taste.
And of course, we got to try some freshly made pure dark chocolate, which was amazing. The journey continued at the sugarcane plantation.
The leaf is really is one of the biggest problems the sugarcane have.
We chewed on raw sugarcane, which was so sweet and fibrous. We watched them extract the sugarcane and then saw how they turn it into molasses. The best part was getting to make our own sobado, which are traditional molasses candies.
Just do it faster, okay? Just regulate everything, okay? To take all that, okay?
And after all that learning, we got to the final tasting. We sampled everything we learned about during the tour. This included the drink of the gods, which is a delicious hot chocolate with spices. We also had fresh coffee, a taste of guaro. This is the guaro, which is the local moonshine. So it's 70%, so it's very strong. And some arracache picadillo with the final piece of chocolate. We ended at the gift shop, and of course I had to get some coffee and chocolate to take home. I am back here for dinner at Nectandra, and Chef Isaac has prepared a very special dinner for me. It would be a tasting menu on some of the dishes they have on their dinner menu, and I can't wait to try. A lot of their dishes are actually like very local. They have their own garden and on site where they actually produce a lot of the herbs and vegetables like lettuce, basil, and other things. And then after that, they try to source everything within the region of Monteverde or nearby areas before, and if they can't find those stuff, then they try to get it at the national level. They don't try to go anywhere outside Costa Rica. You're really tasting like true Costa Rican ingredients and produce and meat. Chef Isaac Madrigal's vision is rooted in Monteverde, and I'm so excited to see how that philosophy translates to the plate.
So tonight what we're going to start with, this is a brioche bread, which actually, this one, we can add a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of balsamic, so that we can try it. But also we can share it with this butter. This is going to be chili morron butter, which is going to be kind of a sweet pepper. And also it's going to have a little bit of sea salt on top of it, and also a powder of burnt tortilla. So I hope you enjoy it.
That's really good. bread is so fresh and so good.
So what we're gonna have in here is gonna be our amuse, which this one over here, it's gonna be our tartelette made of plantain. And inside it we're filled with a little bit of bacon caramelized, which is gonna have more plantain creamy on the inside. And then on top, we're gonna get some flowers. These flowers are gonna be eatable, which is gonna be mustard and cilantro flowers on top of it.
The flavor explosion is so good. All those elements combining.
So what we're gonna have in this one, which is the appetizer, we're gonna get our ceviche. The ceviche is gonna be sea bass, that is the one that we're having seasonal right now. And then afterwards, we're gonna have different layers. One layer on the bottom, we're gonna have yellow plantain, which is sweetness on it. We're gonna get the ceviche, and on top, cheap plantains. On the side, we're having a tiger milk. Tiger milk, it's made with fish broth. It's gonna have a little bit of ginger, orange, lime, and tiny bit of ají, which is making it a little bit spiciness. On top, we're gonna get some oil, which this oil, it's made out of coriander and also a little bit of annatto.
That's so fresh. That's so good with all the layers. You get the crispiness, you get the chew from the sea bass, you get the tiger's milk. So good.
So tonight we're gonna get the dumper from the Wagyu beef. We're gonna get a small salad so you can refresh palate that has a little bit of acelga, rucola on it, a little bit of radish, and we're gonna get more Tabacón flowers, which this one is gonna be a little bit of veal in there as well. We're gonna get a chimichurri made at home, and this is gonna be a tartelette made out of corn, which inside it's gonna have a puree made out of potato and a little bit of cacao, which is pure chocolate. On top, we're gonna have a caramelized onion on it.
The corn tartelette is so intriguing, and it's a bold, savory pairing for the Wagyu, but it just works.
So we're gonna end with our dessert, which this one is gonna have fresh goat cheese. It's gonna have matcha powder on top of it. We're gonna coconut and lime sorbet, and then melliferous honey. All of us are gonna be locally made, so I hope you're gonna be able to enjoy.
I love this dessert. It was interesting in a good way. The goat cheese has this fun squeaky texture like a cheese curd. It has a fantastic savory contrast to the sweet, fruity, and tangy sorbet, bringing everything together. What a great way to get a taste of Monteverde. Chef Isaac is doing amazing things in the Monteverde culinary scene. Be sure to check out the rooftop bar here. It is really beautiful, and apparently it's amazing during sunset. Salud!
Salud! Salud!
I'm at Nectandra restaurant for breakfast, which is included with the stay, and I'm starting with a cappuccino made from local Monteverde coffee beans. You get to choose from a wide variety of dishes, and I got the avocado eggs benedict because it sounded so unique. Instead of hollandaise, it has this great creamy avocado sauce, and it's also topped with their own house-cured tuna. This is such a delicious and hearty way to start my day of activities here in Monteverde. So in Monteverde, the most popular activity is exploring the Cloud Forest Reserve. You are surrounded with nature all around you in this tour, and you also get to learn a lot about like tree species and different fruits. So we have made it to the Cascade Falls, and it is beautiful just hearing all the water rushing down, the tranquil nature sound. It is so beautiful. So just to give an idea on the incredible biodiversity here in Monteverde, so there's like 2,400 different species of trees in Costa Rica, and in Monteverde there's 1,300 species. And similarly, there are 935 species of birds in Costa Rica, and there are 500 here in Monteverde. So they have like over half of the species for trees and birds just in this region. Here's a pro tip. Be sure to visit the Hummingbird Garden to catch some of them. It's a free attraction. One of the unique things you can do in the Cloud Forest is to do a zipline and canopy tour. So I'm here at the original canopy tour Monteverde. This isn't just one zip line, it's a full circuit of 10 different lines, each giving you incredible views of the forest. The tour also includes a hammock bridge and a rappel down, but the two highlights for me were totally new experiences. First, after the rappel, you don't just walk back up, you actually get to climb inside the massive hollow ficus tree to continue the tour. And then the Tarzan swing, exactly as it sounds. Wow, what an incredible adrenaline rush. It was so cool and definitely a first for me. Oh my god.
You don't have to do it if you don't want.
After a 2.5-hour drive from Monteverde, I am here at the Tabacón Hot Springs Resort here in Arenal. This is a 5-star resort that's also a Michelin Guide recommended hotel. So I am staying at room 422. This here is the washroom and shower. You got the rainfall head here. The sink, toilet. There's the closet. There's 2 bathrobes. The laundry bag. There's the safe here and some cabinets and drawers. This is the bed. Nice king bed right here. There's a really big working area. There's a sitting area here as well. Oh, and then there's another smaller like bed or lounge area. And this is so cool. They actually gave like a welcome gift, and it's guaro with other ingredients. So this is the minibar area. There's tea and coffee that's complimentary, but the minibar, everything in the minibar is for purchase. So it's different compared to the other hotels that I visited. This is the minibar. Check out. This is the window view. I'm already here at night, so there's not much to see. So this is interesting. So there's actually a sliding door here, so you can see the bathroom from the bedroom. Tonight's dinner is at their signature restaurant, Tucanes. Honestly, one of the best things about staying here is getting to experience the gastronomy from the culinary director, Chef Saul. I love the open-air setting here. You're dining surrounded by untouched tropical rainforests. You can hear the sounds of nature while you eat, which is an experience all on its own. Chef Saul's whole philosophy is about using fresh, locally sourced ingredients, and the tasting menu is a must. It's a culinary journey of Costa Rican flavors with dishes inspired by the country's 7 provinces. The beverage pairing is one of the most unique ones I've ever had. It's not just wine, they pair courses with beer, wine, and even with exclusive off-menu cocktails created just for these dishes. It's such a creative way to build a menu and highlight the food. What really stood out to me throughout the tasting menu was the play on textures and the incredible sauces. The tasting started with one of my favorites of the night, the tuna tartare. It had cured egg yolk, black garlic mayo, avocado emulsion, and ponzu sauce. It was an umami explosion of flavors with playful textures. It was paired with a crisp Asahi beer to bring out the freshness of the tuna. The catch of the day, which was a fresh sea bass, came on this beautiful potato puree with 1 kaina sauce and a coconut milk curry. It was complex, but all the flavors just worked in harmony. That was paired with a Tico Forest cocktail with pisco and pear that cut through the richness perfectly. Then they brought out this octopus with cassava croquette. This is actually a traditional Costa Rican enucado stuffed with breaded palmito cheese, and Chef Saul mentioned it's reminiscent of what his mom used to make for him growing up. That combination of the fresh ceviche-style sauce with the croquette brought these traditional dishes to another level. Another highlight for me was the airline chicken. I know chicken can be simple, but this was anything but. It was served with this deep mushroom sauce, truffle oil, and a tapioca crisp for texture. It was so comforting and elevated. To finish, I had this beautiful strawberry and basil dessert. It explored one ingredient in so many ways. Strawberry paper, lacto-fermented strawberries, and even strawberry spheres, all balanced by a white chocolate mousse. The pairing was a sweet Pedro Jimenez wine, which enhanced the whole dessert with its sweetness and dried fruit notes. So I am back here at the Tucanes restaurant, this time for breakfast. So breakfast is included with your stay, and it's a buffet spread. So there's a juice and cereal section, there's a dessert section, there's a cheese and charcuterie section, And then there's the main course section. In the main courses, I like that there's a mix of Costa Rican dishes and intercontinental dishes. So there's like gallo pinto, which is the most popular breakfast food in Costa Rica. And then there's also aracache, made into like hash. It's one of the most popular staple dishes as well. And then there's also like scrambled eggs, there's cheese empanada, there's sausage as well. One thing I love is there's a fresh station where you can order dishes that are made to order, and it includes also both Costa Rican and like normal American breakfast dishes. So for example, you can order tortilla de queso, you can order chorreadas, which are corn pancakes, but you can also order like pancakes, waffles, and omelette. So of course, while in Costa Rica, you have to try their coffee, and they actually work with a coffee farm directly here in the country to make sure that they get like fresh premium coffee. The Tabacón Resort, it's known for its hot springs heated by the volcano, and it feels like you're in a tropical paradise. The natural thermal experiences are open from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. with hotel guests getting exclusive access from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And there's also the Shangri-La Gardens, which is an adults only section in the hot springs, and it's only for ages 18 and up. So I am now here at the city center of La Fortuna. It is around a 10-minute drive from Tabacón Resort, and here in the main square there's like a church right here, and it's also known for this public park right here. So in this spot in the park, it's a very good photo opportunity because you have the fountain, you have the church right here, and these are actually the volcanoes. It's kind of cloudy right now, but the Arenal volcano is right there. And this is another volcano that's dormant, and it's called Sleeping Indian because you can notice that it looks like it's kind of sleeping, lying down. I'm at Don Rufino, one of the best restaurants in town and a true culinary institution. The space is a beautiful open-air design that makes you feel comfortable and casual. The concept is driven by Chef Santiago, a gastronomic pillar in Costa Rica, so expect creative farm-to-table cuisine, elevating local ingredients with international techniques at Don Rufino. I'm doing their tasting menu, which is a dynamic experience that's always evolving, plus wine pairings paired by my server and sommelier Andre, who has been at Don Rufino for 18 years. This first course, the fried shrimp tostada, was a total flavor explosion. It has sweet potatoes, scallions, furikake, and the sweet tare sauce you pour on top. One of my favorite dishes. The albarino pairing cuts right through the richness. Next was the grilled merguez lamb sausage, so flavorful with a roasted chili ajvar puree and mint chimichurri. The rosé pairing was a perfect balance. Then came another favorite, the thrice braised beef ribs. This is melt in your mouth, braised for 10 to 12 hours with a local sweet potato cream, allspice, and a honey glaze. Just a beautiful contrast of sweet and savory. The Malbec pairing was so creamy. After that, a dish that speaks to local culture, the palm heart maleku mafuri seca. This is snook prepared in the style of the Maleku indigenous people, wrapped in traditional bihagwa leaves and served with tender palm heart. Roasted in banana leaves, it's a beautiful representation of Costa Rican flavors. The main course was interesting. I got this New York steak topped with a beef short ravioli. Two separate dishes from the a la carte menu combined into one. It was one harmonious dish with a crispy potato millefeuille and a sous vide sauce. The cabernet pairing was bold and perfect. And for dessert, this moist banana cake. It's not typical. It has a miso banana brulee cream and a 20-year rum salted caramel. And I love the zero waste focus, using banana peels for a crispy chip. And to finish, a glass of 30-year Costa Rican rum. After a 5-hour drive, I am back in San Jose for my last night. This time, I'm staying at the Hotel Presidente in their beautiful Apex room with a private terrace. My final dinner in Costa Rica, I don't have to go far. I'm here at the hotel's rooftop restaurant, Azotea Calle 7. This space is so chic and modern with a beautiful outdoor garden overlooking the city. It's the perfect setting for the special curated menu by Chef Yandri Soto, which focuses on elevated traditional Costa Rican food. First up is this sea bass ceviche sampler. The fish is so incredibly fresh, but the standout for me is the passion fruit ciba ceviche with avocado. I love the handmade empanaditas. The corn dough is fantastic, and it's great to try 3 different classic fillings. Next is the seared yellowfin tuna and mango montadito. This is such a fun flavor bomb snack, and you get all these amazing textures, but my absolute favorite dish of the night has to be the tostones de yuca. I've only ever had tostones made from plantains, never yuca. They're topped with this delicious and flavorful carne desmechada, or shredded beef, plus pico de gallo and refried beans. This is just pure amazing Costa Rican comfort. The main courses really show the menu's variety, from a classic arroz con pollo served with a traditional pickled escabeche to tender beef tenderloin with stir-fried onions. And for the perfect sweet ending, a decadent flourless chocolate cake. And that's a wrap on my incredible 5 days in Costa Rica. From the volcanic peaks to the misty cloud forest to the delicious food and the friendliest people, I am blown away with my time in Costa Rica, enjoying the Pura Vida lifestyle. I hope this gives you an idea on what it's like to experience some of the best things to do, places to eat and stay in an epic road trip itinerary in Costa Rica, visiting San Jose, Cartago, Monteverde, and Arenal. And if you like these kinds of videos, please be sure to like, follow, and subscribe, and watch this next video right here.